Academic and College Planning for High School, Part 3, 4-Year Planning. In this video, I'll be reviewing over the 4-year planning process and graduation requirements for SCA. First of all, what is a 4-year plan? A 4-year plan is basically a roadmap. It helps the student plan out what kind of courses they believe that they want to take at this point in time. We factor in a lot of different things. One, what type of universities are they maybe considering? What type of career? What are their strengths, their weaknesses? What other goals would help them determine what kind of courses they might be able to take? We want this to be an inclusive type of process. We want the parents to be a part of this. We know that you are a large part of helping them through this process. And so we're going to invite you to be a part of those. And if you're unable to, we'll still meet with every student individually to create their 4-year plan. At SCA, we have 2 different types of diplomas. I'm going to review over the University Prep Diploma first, and then I'll talk about the extra criteria needed for the Honors Diploma. The University Prep Diploma, every student is required to take 4 credits of Bible, 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, as well I would add that it's math for every year that they're in high school. So if they have gained some credits in middle school in math, they would still be expected to take a math every year that they're here at SCA. They would need 3 credits of a lab science, 3 credits of history, 2 credits of a world language, 1 credit of PE, 1 credit of fine arts, 1 credit of computers, a half a credit of speech for a total of 27 credits. You'll notice that there'll be some added in there with electives with those. If a student wants to take the extra step and aim for the Honors Diploma, what they would need to add extra is an extra credit of science or history, 3 credits of the same world language, 3 honors classes with a B or better, and graduate with a cumulative GPA of a 3.5 and a total credits of 28. In this next slide, you get a general idea of how our courses are mapped out from grade level to grade level. You'll see that each year they take Bible, each year they'll take an English, each year they'll take math. When it comes to science, they'll get their 3 lab sciences in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. If they're doing an honors diploma or looking at a career that requires an extra science, or a college that might require 4 years of science, that would be considered an elective their 12th grade year. When it comes to starting their foreign languages, that would be their freshman, sophomore year. Again, if they're looking at the honors diploma or wanting to go beyond just the 2 required languages, then that would be considered an elective their 11th grade year. When it comes to history, they actually won't begin that until 10th grade, and so they'll have a history 10th, 11th, and 12th grade years. If they want a 4th year of history, they basically will double up either their 11th grade or 12th grade year to get 4 credits of history. For PE, we encourage the students to get that taken care of their freshman year, or we also have a policy where a student can meet their PE requirement by playing 3 seasons of SCA athletics. So for example, a student, if they played 3 different sports their freshman year, so say they did volleyball, basketball, and softball, that would meet their PE requirement just from their freshman year. Or if you have a student that's more specialized, so say they're a basketball player and they play basketball their freshman year, their sophomore year, junior year, that could also meet their 3 seasons of SCA athletics. You can see that there's plenty of elective spots in there. We basically have 7 periods each year and 7 credits possible for each year. In the next few slides, I'm going to be showing you more specifically what are the options within those specific subject areas that they can take honors classes or AP classes along the way. As we look at the more specific type of courses that students can take, I wanted to take a moment to review over what each designation really means. So you're going to see that we'll have some courses that are considered honors, others that are considered advanced placement or AP, and then others that are considered dual enrollment. Honors courses are courses where SCA has designated that they're considered honors. That could mean because there's a little more work there, that could mean that it goes quicker. There might be some other prerequisites involved with some of the honors designations. Advanced placement is nationally set by the College Board. Remember that College Board are the same people who write the SAT and PSAT. If a student takes an AP course, they are expected to take the AP exam, which is given at the end of the course. And based on that score, so it's scored out of 5, a student may potentially earn college credit. I can't guarantee one way or another because it really is based on the score that the student would earn, as well as what various colleges require. So there are some schools that would accept a 3 out of the 5 to earn college credits. Others would say, no, you need a 4 or a 5 in order to earn college credit based on the AP exam. The third type of class would be dual enrollment. Dual enrollment is where they are earning college credit and high school credit at the same time, with our instructors here at SCA, with the grade being given from an SCA teacher. For English, you'll see that there is an honors option or an AP option at each grade level. So for 9th grade, a student could choose between English 1 or Honors English 1. For 10th grade, English 2, Honors English 2. 11th grade, English 3, and AP English Language. And then 12th grade, they would have 3 different options of regular English 4, College English, which is a dual enrollment course, and AP English Literature. For the honors and AP courses, there is an honors application that students will need to submit in order for final placement to happen. And with the College English, there is a placement test required by the university that we partner with for placement into the College English course. For math, rather than listing it out for grade level by grade level, since so many students are at different parts in the sequence of math, I thought it'd be easier just to show you the math sequence page. Normal track would have students starting in Algebra 1 as a freshman. Starting next year, we will have an option of having an Honors Algebra 1. Math placement testing would be required to be final placement into the Honors Algebra 1. From Algebra 1, you would proceed on to Geometry or Honors Geometry, then Algebra 2 to Honors Algebra 2. And from Algebra 2, it kind of can span out a little bit. It really varies where a student is grade level wise and where they are at their skill level. If they want to slow it down a little bit but want to start getting an introduction into pre-calculus, then from Algebra 2 they might go to that Trig Intro to Pre-Calc. The Trig Intro to Pre-Calc will not prepare you to go directly into AP Calculus. Some students might choose, if they're looking at a calc-based math and are considered an advanced math student, they would want to continue on and go to pre-calculus after Algebra 2. If they're a junior and have just taken Algebra 2, they would have an option of college algebra as a senior. As well, they would also have the option of doing AP statistics. Most students, though, don't jump from Algebra 2 to AP stats. We've had a few here or there. From pre-calculus, most students would then go to AP Calculus AB, could go to AP Stats, could go to college algebra. From Trig Pre-Calc, most would go probably to pre-calculus or potentially to college algebra. Again, the whole sequence really is based on where your student is grade level wise, as well as where is their skill base, partnered with what kind of career or college major are they looking at, and what math background do they best need to have in order to be successful at the college level. Our next screen shows the science sequence. This has just actually been recently updated, and all the updates will begin as of next year. For 9th grade, every 9th grader will take biology. Then when it comes to 10th grade is where you really see the biggest change from our previous sequence. Students will have the option between integrated science, chemistry, and AP chemistry. Integrated science is more of a basic science. It'll give them a little bit of exposure to chemistry and physics, but not really be math-based. Chemistry, that's going to be more for your mainstream student, a student who wants to pursue in the sciences but maybe hasn't had as strong math as they need to. Some students would be able to jump directly into AP Chem. Those students would need to have had A's in math up until that point and meet certain levels of math as a 10th grader. As an 11th grader, they would have the option between physics, AP Physics 1, chemistry, or AP Chemistry, anatomy, physiology. You'll notice that there's going to be some overlap from one year to the next based on what that student may have taken. So a student could take integrated science as a 10th grader and then choose to take chemistry as an 11th grader. So that's why they're listed in both spots. Or a student might have taken chemistry as a 10th grader and then decides they want to continue on and take AP Chem as a junior. On physics versus AP Physics, there definitely is a math requirement for the AP Physics 1. A student would need to be in Honors Algebra 2 their 11th grade year or have already taken Honors Algebra 2 in order to proceed into AP Physics. 12th grade year, again, you're going to see a lot of overlap. They would have an option between Physics, AP Physics 1, AP Physics 2, Chemistry, AP Chemistry, Anatomy Phys. As a reminder, each student would need to take 3 lab sciences during their 4 years at SCA. If they're looking at an honors diploma, it's either 4 years of science or a 4th year of history. Next, we see our sequence for history. As I indicated before, as a 9th grader, they would not be taking history. Their history starts their 10th grade year. They would have a choice between world history or AP history, 11th grade U.S. history, or AP U.S. history. As a 12th grader, everybody would be taking economics, and then they would have an option between U.S. government and AP U.S. government. If they want a 4th year of history, basically they would double up either their junior year or their senior year, and the option for that currently is Western civilization. For the most part, those previous slides have covered kind of the main sequences that you'd be asking regarding core courses. This slide is a visual of kind of trying to find that balance between the type of courses and your GPA. You don't want to take all honors and AP courses and your GPA suffer because of that. As well, if your student is able to challenge themselves, I would highly encourage them to challenge themselves, because when you're looking at colleges, they're going to be looking at your GPA as well as the type of courses. So if you take regular courses all the way through and you have a high GPA, that is going to benefit you. But if you're looking at more selective schools or schools that want to see that a student has challenged themselves academically, they also want to see that you've taken some honors or AP courses or dual enrollment courses. So it is a really an individual balance that has to be made. I think another factor that comes in with that is what else are they involved in? What other extracurriculars that might affect the time and effort that they're able to put in on the type of courses. As well, looking at what are they gifted at, what are their passions in, because we know we're going to excel much greater in a course that we really enjoy versus maybe a course that we don't enjoy as much. So just trying to find that balance, and that's something that will be a constant dialogue between you, your student, and the academic advisor. The 3 main areas that colleges will be looking at when considering whether to admit your student or not would be academics, test scores, and extracurriculars. For our state schools, they're primarily only looking at academics and test scores. They're looking at the numbers, the GPA, and the test scores. That will determine admittance and will determine scholarships. More private-based schools, more selective type of universities, are going to look at more of the whole person. They want to not only see that GPA, but they want to see what are the courses that student has taken. Have they challenged themselves? What type of SAT and ACT scores have they done? But also, what have they done outside of the classroom? What kind of leadership skills have they done? How have they involved themselves in the school? And that's where the extracurricular activities come in. When we do our 4-year plan, one of the things that we'll also be discussing is an activity plan. What are those areas that your student can excel in, or maybe even use those to explore career options and college options within those extracurriculars. So the 3 main areas is academic, test scores, and extracurricular activities. As we close, I thought I'd leave you with a quote that my grandfather used to tell us: plan your work and work your plan. Whenever we are wanting to meet a goal, we have to plan out what do we need to be doing, what are those steps that we need to do, and then we need to follow those steps to ultimately meet our goal. And so that is kind of the process that we want to do as we are designing and creating the 4-year plan when it comes to the academics and even the activities that your student might be involved in over the next 4 years. If you would like to be a part of your students' meeting while we're developing the 4-year plan, I would ask that you would reach out to Nick Petkoff. to let him know that you would like to be a part of that. We will be meeting with every individual student over the next really month and a half so that we can thoroughly plan out and really get to know the students a little better as they're entering into high school. Meetings can be set up as early as 7 o'clock in the morning and as late as 5:30 in the evening so that we can work around as much as we can around your work schedule. Thank you, and I look forward to working with you and your student.